I got this little cabinet on the side of the road. I thought it was a bedside table, but when I looked at it closer, I found these amazing doors on the sides, and I thought this would be a really practical cupboard for someone. It could be a toy storage, it could be a medicine cabinet, a craft cupboard. You could put essential oils in there. You could do so many things. I had to try and flip it. I started by giving the piece a thorough clean. I vacuumed in and under this cupboard. It had a lot of dust, a lot of cobwebs, and I wanted to get all of that off before I started wiping everything down. To wipe everything down, I like to use Crud Cutter. Crud Cutter is a fantastic degreaser and it cuts through dirt, grease and grime, but you do have to make sure that you come around with just some plain hot water after you've wiped everything over, just to make sure that you've got no residue left on the surface of the piece. I then went ahead and removed the hinges for the doors, the handles, and I removed the broken hinges that were for the lid top as well. Recently, I was sent this hack to make sanding strips to help with hand sanding. Thank you, Lindy, for sending this one through, and I wanted to road test it on this piece. Essentially, it's putting duct tape onto the back of an old sanding disc and using a Stanley blade to cut strips in a variety of sizes. The duct tape just serves to give the sanding disc a little bit more strength so they don't tear. You can see here that I'm able to firmly grab that strip on either side and work it around the contours of the legs. I did find that a couple of the strips snapped, so I would fix this next time by doing a double layer of duct tape. But overall, I think this is a great time-saving hack, and props, I'm going to tag the original creator of this one. It is a great hack for hand sanding. Once I'd removed all of the finish from those turned legs, I went on to scuff sanding. Now, I used 180 grit sandpaper by hand around all of the little contours to scuff up the surface. I then removed all of the dust from the piece and taped off the little turned legs. I used my Wagner spray gun to apply my primer, and I chose to use Zinsser water-based primer for this piece. Once it was completely dry, I went around with 600 grit sandpaper just to smooth down any texture that the spray gun may have created and to knock out any dust or debris that may have landed in the paintwork while it was drying. It's essential that you remove all of the dust before you go on to your next coat of paint. I did 2 coats of paint for this piece. The color is Duck Egg Blue by Dulux, and I made sure to sand and remove all of the dust between my first and second coat of paint. To seal all of this paintwork, I chose Monocell's water-based clear varnish in a satin finish. For the little legs of this piece, I wanted to create some depth, some dimension. I wanted them to look aged and lived in, so I used a combination of waxes. For my first coat, I chose FIDDES Supreme Wax Polish in Liming White, and this just helps to soften that raw timber. It neutralizes a little bit of the yellow. I'm just applying with a brush, and then I wiped off the excess. FIDDES Supreme Wax Polish comes in a range of colors, which is fantastic because you can really create some beautiful faux patina looks on your raw timber. This is using their forest brown, which was just enough to give an overall depth of color and add some shadowing into the contours of the legs. The final step in this flip was to get all of the hardware back on. I replaced the 2 hinges for the top section and then popped the doors back on. I chose a round white marble handle for this little set. And guys, this is the end result. I think it is so cute. It's such a practical little piece of furniture, and it's sold within 24 hours of me listing for $120. So let me know what you think. Is it a nail or a fail?